Hello again, Cons here. Sorry for the delay in videos, but I have a fairly good one to make up for it. I want to talk about skipping the SafiJiiva grind completely and getting her weapons without having to fight her at all. Can be really handy if you really want her weapons and either the quest isn't active or you're struggling to find a half decent team or lobby to solo it. We're going to be using the Sealing Alchemy to make the Dracolite. We're going to be using the Awakening Alchemy to make the weapons. As you can see here, a single Zionium crystal, and forget how many I have of it, don't at me. A single Zionium crystal is worth 3 weapons if you meld it at the NPC and spend a few research points, which aren't exactly hard to grind, although I do have a video on that coming up. But anyway, you generate 3 random weapons. Now it's not like base SafiJiiva where you get to pick like 3 or 4 from a large selection. Whatever you get, but it is still a pretty good way to do it. Now, why am I talking about all of this? Well, recently, I put out a video talking about how you can use the new 10 times steamworks mode alongside save, resetting and exploiting to really optimize your steamworks grind. And in that video, we concluded that resetting every 10 or 20 minutes, check that video out if you want the specifics, but every 10 or 20 minutes and you could average 10 tickets every 3 hours or so. And if you had a large buffer of fuel and didn't need to gather any, you could drop that down to every 2 hours. Now I also have a video that sort of ties everything together, talking about steamworks fuel farming to optimize that in the guiding lands using an exploit there where you only mine 3 out of the 4 times. Again, I'll have that video linked somewhere, but you can also adopt that to get research points if you need them. And using that, we can take our 10 celestial tickets that we get every 3 hours. As part of a recent update, you can now swap in your celestial prints for Zionium crystals. As I mentioned, I'll just sort of show that off now. There you go. You can see 1 print per Zionium crystal, and each crystal is worth 3 weapons. So each print is worth 3 weapons essentially. And so by getting 10 tickets every 3 hours, really what we're getting is 30 weapons every 3 hours, which averages out to a rate of 10 of these items per hour. So to summarize, by using the Steamworks ×10 mode and save exploiting, which I've talked about in one video, combining it with the optimal fuel or research point routes from another video, using them to trade in Zionium crystals and then trading those in for weapons, we can get a total drop rate of 10 SafiJiiva weapons every hour. And I think it's important to mention that you get these without having to fight SafiJiiva at all. And this is completely available to you whether or not the SafiJiiva quest is active and whether or not you can find a decent team, so long as you've killed her once, because you do need to have beaten her to unlock these options for melding. Now, in my experience, and of course I might have just had bad luck with randoms and lobbies and stuff, but in my experience, 10 weapons per hour is probably as good, if not better, a drop rate than I would get working with randoms. And I play fairly optimally, or at least I try to. Yeah, I've had, maybe I'm just having bad luck, but 10 weapons an hour is actually not bad at all. Of course, the trade-off is that you can't pick them from a larger selection, but on the plus side, the increased rate of junk weapons that you get, you're just going to trade them in for large Dracolite anyway using the Sealing Alchemy, and that kind of brings it all together. To finish the farm and upgrade your weapons so that you don't have to fight SafiJiiva at all, you trade in the extra weapons you get for large Dracolite, and I've done a video on increasing the yield. So you can get 2 large Dracolites per weapon in exchange for some of the lower tier fuel. So on average, rather than getting 20 points worth of upgrades a weapon, you get 30 points. Now, inevitably, whenever I talk about this kind of thing, I always get people saying, oh, this isn't the fastest way, this isn't the optimal way, why don't you just do the fight? Well, first of all, this is one of those siege quests that you need a lobby for, and so straight away, even if you are good enough, there's no guarantee you're going to get good teams. But also this method works when the quest isn't active. And the other thing is, like, this isn't supposed to be the fastest way. It's really supposed to be the easiest way. Oh my god, 10 prints. I just came in here now and started recording. I didn't think I'd get 10 print drops. But nice. Alright, there's another 10. As I was saying, I inevitably get people saying that that's not the fastest way, that's not the best way, but it is the easiest way, because you have to remember, despite the trade-off of not being able to pick from a larger selection of weapons and maybe getting a lower rate of Dracolite, you're not having to fight the quest at all. You don't have to look for random lobbies with good players. The quest doesn't even need to be active. All you need to do is go and follow my gathering route in the guiding lands. It's that simple. You can completely automate Steamworks with a macro or just by holding R2 overnight, so you're saving even more time. I say it's 2 hours, but really you can save even more time if you want to. So yeah, it's a trade-off. It might not be the fastest, most optimal way to do things, but it almost certainly is the easiest. So if you've been struggling to grind out these SafiJiiva weapons, maybe the quest isn't active or you can't find good randoms or you're just sick of the quest, yeah, hopefully this helps. And I hope you have a lovely day. Take it easy. Bye-bye.